Want to sew something quick and fun and useful? Well, let's make a mug rug. It's kind of like a mini quilt. All you're going to need is some fabric scraps, some binding, and a few minutes on your sewing machine. So let me show you how to do it. I make my fabric 5x7. So here I've got a piece cut out here. It's 5 inches tall and 7.5 inches wide. Here is your fleece batting. This is the same method I'm kind of using for the placemat and the 5x5 coaster. There is the fusible fleece, the 987F that's fusible that I'm using. And then for the backing, I have chose this color for the back, and it is a solid piece. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your fusible with your bumpy side up. You're going to fuse that to the back of your top piece. We're going to put that on there. I think it's about 10-20 seconds in an area. So we're just going to fuse that with the iron. All right, so we've got that fused. And then you're going to put the backing on the top. If you were using a piece of fabric that had print, then you would put right sides to right sides. What we're going to do is we're going to take this to the sewing machine. We're going to go all the way around 1/4 of an inch, leave a 2-inch gap at the bottom instead of the top. I like to do mine at the bottom. And we're going to sew all the way around, and then we're going to flip that out. So we'll come back for that. But what I want to show you, there's many options that you can use. You can do different fabric this way, a piece going this way, or you can cut different fabrics to make that 5 by 7.5 inch. So here I've got a piece going this way, I've got a piece going this way, and a small piece going this way. So whatever fabric you're wanting to use, that's what you will cut out to equal out that amount of 5 by 7.5 inches. This one I've got my I'm showing here, I've got my lines going up and down and my top stitching going across this way. Here's just a solid piece right here. This is going to be a Christmas print to use. And then I've got the solid red backing for that. And then I've got this one here. I've taken a small section. I think this is going to be a 5 by 4 right here, maybe 4.5. I can't remember which size I cut out for that. But then I've got the fabric going on each side of that with a solid red backing. So there's different possibilities that you can use for using your scraps up for your mug rugs. A mug rug is a small placemat quilt, bigger than a coaster, that you set your cup of coffee, mug. You've got a little bit of room for a snack, muffin, cookie, whatever you're going to eat with that, or just having an oversized mug. But then this one here, it's the bumblebees with the honeycomb, and then a solid background. And here we are starting to sew. Back stitch, so you lock that in, 1/4 of an inch, all the way around. That's a little bit. There we go. There we are, leaving our opening. And you'll want to clip your corners. Then we want to turn that inside out. Poke out your corners there. Get those nice and pointed out there. Use whatever device you prefer to poke out your corners. You'll take this over to your iron. You'll press down the fabric that was in that opening, and then we're going to sew about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And there you have it. This is the version with the goose and the baby geese with the solid goldish yellow background. So there's that variation. So you might want to be sure to save this for upcoming holidays and seasonal mug rugs that you can make. So like I said, here is one with the Christmas. This is the serpentine stitch, the top stitch that was done on that. And then, like I said, there's the solid one there that matches that one. And then here's a couple other versions that you can do with different colors, different prints. Here's one that's a medical right here. And then sea turtles. There's that one. So you could take a charm pack, a 5-inch square charm pack. Take another charm pack, cut it in half. Sew those two sides together. There, right down the center there. Or not down the center, down the edge, a 1/4 of an inch seam right there. And that's going to get you this pattern right here, because I took a 5-inch charm, cut it in half, and then sewed the top, and then did the back for the yellow. So save this. Follow me for more quilting tips and quilting projects. If you have any suggestions, let me know.